Well, good morning and welcome back to the Back 40 Firewood channel. Coming off of a wild Friday night live stream last night, to say the least. A little impromptu, guests appeared on the live stream and we had a little fun. Well, we had a lot of fun actually. So if you were on the live stream, thanks for tuning in and hanging around. I know it probably wasn't for everyone. You know, sometimes things when they get out of control, we were having some technical difficulties, but you know, all in all, it's still all in good fun. So I think for the most part, everybody had a good time. I did anyway. But anyhow, I'm on here this morning now. It's a little after 7. I wanted to get a quick jump on the day to get some stuff done before it got too hot. And I got an email the other day from somebody who was basically, I mean, they weren't really like trolling me or anything. They were just kind of saying, you know, I don't enjoy your videos because you never provide any tips or useful information. And so, you know, that got me thinking. I was like, well, that's not really what my channel is. I mean, I have my channel in the entertainment category, and I've never been a big like how-to type of guy. Like, I'm not one to really say, hey, this is how you should do something, and this is how you do this, and this is how you do that. Just not the way I am. I mean, I figure there might be some things I do that people might interpret one way and see something that they could maybe find useful. And so that's kind of how I provide tips. However, today I am going to provide a tip. A tip that I see people doing sometimes, and I used to do this, and I still do it all the time, because you get into a mindset of like, you know, doing something one way and then you always do it. But anyway, I'm gonna start working on, I have been kind of cutting up some of these logs back here and splitting them, and I'll show you that in a second. But one thing that many of us use are some type of measuring device. And we attach these magnetically to the end of the bar, and then we go down the log and we make our cuts. And then we come back and then we finish the cut, or we make our marks. We go down the log, we make our marks, and we come back and we finish the cut. But sometimes, like if you're using a grapple, or if you have logs like up off the ground like this, I'm going to give you a little tip here in a little bit that might just save you a little bit of time. All right, so like I mentioned, I've been working on starting to process up this pile of logs that were up in the front. And so what I've been doing is I've kind of been, you know, just bucking stuff up, bringing it over here. And then I'm kind of in this situation where I want to separate some stuff out. So I have 2 IBC totes. Now these IBC totes I'm pretty much just using to take the wood away from the splitter and then go to stack it. So I'm not going to leave the wood in here. So I have like most of the semi-seasoned standing dead oak that probably will be ready to burn this winter. I have that in one tote that I'm going to go stack in one spot. And then I have over here different recreational wood, like there's some poplar in there. I've got some other stuff. I'm going to throw some ash in this tote. And then that stuff will go and get stacked in the area where I stack for the roadside stand and bundles. So it's been working out pretty good. I know ideally it's best to, you know, probably just have a tote right on the end of the splitter and then just let the pieces fall off. But when you're kind of in a mix like this, for me anyway, it works out better to just be able to, like, you know, like right here, I'm going to have, you know, that piece of oak is going to go in that tote. And then these 3 pieces of elm, I'm probably going to put in this tote. And then I've got let me just show you over here. So down underneath there is a big piece of poplar. Over here, some smaller ash. That'll be good bundle wood. There's another round of poplar. So like everything's kind of mixed up over here. So that's why I'm just separating it out. Oh, and I also have a 3rd pile. So the bigger odds and ends that I'm going to keep for myself to burn, I'm just kind of tossing right here right now. I'll pick those up with the bucket. So that is the current setup here. Separating stuff out into different totes and starting to work through this pile. All right, so on to this little tip of the day. So when you have your measuring device, doesn't matter which one, I've got 2 of them here. Doesn't matter which one you're using, whether, you know, if it's a magnetic type, like I said, the one thing a lot of us do, and I do this as well, is I'll put my marker on, or put the stick on there. I go down the log, I make my marks, I take this off, and then I come back and finish the cut. Well, like I mentioned, if you have a grapple or if you have these logs and they're being held off the ground, like there's no reason why, if you put your marking bar or your marking stick at the end of your bar, there's no reason why you can't get your mark right here and then just finish your cut with the stick over the log. So in this case, I'm going to cut this little odd, end off, and then I'm going to make my mark, and then I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make my mark, but then I'm going to make the mark and then cut it without removing the stick. So that way you're not like just, going down, walking all the length of the log, making marks, coming back just to go and repeat the process, finishing the cut. Like you can make the mark and finish the cut with this on the bar, with your marker attached to the bar still. So let me show you what I mean. I have been running these logs have been pretty dirty. My chain probably needs to be touched up, but and I'm in this situation, like I only have a couple that I'm going to be able to do that to, because once I get, they're going to tip down or they're not going to be suspended anymore. And once you're in a pile, then that's a different story. But for here, if your log is up off the ground, like in a grapple or being suspended like this, check this out. All right, so there you go. That's just my, I guess, little tip. I don't do, like I said, I don't do that all the time, just because I get in the habit of, if a log's like laying on the ground, I get in the habit of going down, making my marks, and then going back and finishing the cut. But in certain situations, every situation is different. And in certain situations, if you have the log up off the ground, and you're using a marker, just leave it on the tip of your bar and then make your mark, and then with the rest of your bar, make the cut. You don't have to always take this thing off to finish your cuts. Like I said, it might save you a little bit of time. It might save you a trip up and down a log if you got that log in a grapple and you're just, going down, making all your marks, or if you got the log up on a sawbuck or something like that. Like, just give it a try once and see, leave your marker on the end of your bar, make that mark, and then finish the cut with the remainder of your bar. I don't know, might say, like I said, might save a little time. As Shibe likes to always tell me, seconds are minutes, minutes are hours. Because he always is looking at ways to save time. And that may have been the reason he was calling in to the live stream last night, was to pass on that advice. We'll never know for sure, because like I said, we had some technical difficulties connecting, and then once we got connected, things kind of just went in a different direction. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. I'll probably end it while I'm splitting, so stay safe, have fun, and be cool. Man, these glasses are fogging up. It's getting so hot and humid out.
I've been a real bad boy on the town all night.